Pistons, Timberwolves, Cavs, Warriors. It is Thursday, April 2nd. I am Ralph Michaels, and this is WagerTalk TV. We're going to start with Minnesota and Detroit. We're going to finish with the Cavaliers and Warriors. And in that second video, I've got a 68% system that has only two parameters, and it'll give you many opportunities to play the rest of this NBA season. Make sure you stay tuned. I haven't done many NBA videos, but I love the playoffs, so I'm ramping up my NBA coverage. Make sure to check daily at WagerTalk TV for some more. Let's get to it. Minnesota at Detroit. Detroit a 3-point favorite, 224.5. These teams played last Saturday. Detroit romped them 109-87. And this total, that game stayed under the total by significant numbers. And this total is 4 points higher. Why is that? Well, the obvious reason. We saw Anthony Edwards play his last game. It was the first time in 7 games he missed. He had 17 points in 23 minutes. And also in that first Detroit game, they did not have Dosunmu, who had missed a couple games. What did he do his last game back? A triple-double, 18, 15, and 12. So Minnesota was missing 2 important parts. Detroit, in their last game against Toronto, they clinched the division. Something they celebrated, but I still think their main goal is to be the #1 seed. They're 4 games clear of Boston. So I still think even though they are off a celebratory division win, a rare division win, I think 20 plus years, I still think they stay focused here. In their last 7 games, Detroit has shot 51% and allowed only 45%. You look at Minnesota's numbers the last 5 games, a bit misleading. I can tell you that they've shot 42% and allowed 41%. But in that last game with Edwards and Dosunmu back, they shot 53%. So the offense did rebound. It was against Dallas, and they were a 9.5-point away favorite. We look at Minnesota. They're 5-2 straight up in ATS their last 7 games overall. Both ATS losses were at home. But I do look at Minnesota, and I talked about their defensive numbers. They've had 5 straight unders by 19.5 points per game. That's right. The last 5 games have basically covered the total by 20 points per game, a significant number. When the T-Wolves have at least 2 days of rest, their defense is energized. They are 4-11 over under, including 6 straight unders as a dog or small favorite. Detroit, again, I think I said 4 games. I think they're 3 games ahead of Boston. But the one thing you look when you see the Pistons, and they are in a tightly contested game with the lines between the 7s, they are 15-30, 33% over under on the season. And with traditional rest, 1, 2, or 3 days, they are 7-25. That is 22% overs or 78% to the unders. One quick system to finish off Minnesota and Detroit. When a team won the last game by 10 points or more, and now they're a favorite of 3 or more, we have a total of 222 or higher, and both teams have a win percentage of 58% or higher. Since 2018, the games in this situation, 109 and 179. That is a 38% over-under record or 62% to the under. Add it up. Yes, Edwards helps the offense. He also helps the D. He played some good D before he got hurt. We know Dosunmu can grab the boards. I feel Detroit will be focused. We'll go under 224.5. The Timberwolves and the Pistons. Guys, thank you so much for all the love you've given, man, these videos. I had a couple TikTok videos go completely viral. Thank you so much. All we ask, you hit the like button, follow WagerTalk on all their social media networks. Over 300,000 people do. Think about that, folks. WagerTalk now has over 300,000 followers among their social medias. Make sure you're part of them. And leave a comment. I'm going to be doing a lot of playoff TNA coming up and some late season situations. If there's something you want to see, please reach out. Game number 2, we have the Cleveland Cavaliers traveling to play Golden State. The Cavs a 10.5 point favorite, a total of 228.5. The Cavs, basically, they are going to be the 4 seed. They're 3.5 games ahead of Atlanta. They're a game and a half behind New York. Yes, they could catch them, but they've got more concerns about, they have had so many banged up starters that they need to become cohesive. I think that really is their goal. Although they are in a situation I like today. Golden State is basically locked into the 10 spot. They're 2.5 behind Portland. They're 11 ahead of the number 11 seed. So they're basically going to be the number 10 seed. Stephen Curry has been practicing. He is going to be a go, but not tonight. This is the second of back-to-backs. They are not going to play him. They are targeting Sunday's game against Houston, so keep track. We'll see how he plays. So this is my thought. You're locked into the number 10 seed. Your star's coming back on Sunday. That's when you want to focus and try to get on a playoff run. This game with no rest, coming off a San Antonio loss last night, really doesn't mean anything. Again, they could lose every game the rest of the season and still be the 10 seed. I think they get everyone fresh. I think they treat this as a reset, and I think they get ready with Curry back. By the way, without Curry, they went 13-24 straight up in the 37 games he's missed. 23-16 with him in the lineup. Both teams have been poor ATS teams lately. The Cavs 8-5 straight up, only 3-10 against the spread. The Warriors 4-9 straight up in ATS. They did cover in that 127-113 loss to San Antonio. They covered by a half a point, I believe. The Cavs on a short 3-game road trip. They played at Utah, played well, didn't cover a big spread. They lost to the Lakers, and now they're playing Golden State. Listen to this dichotomy. Off a win and off a loss. The Cavs are 2 separate teams. When the Cavaliers are coming off a straight-up win, they are 2-11, 15% ATS. If they're coming off a loss, they are 8-3 ATS and 8-2, 80% if they're playing with rest. The Warriors did cover that last game at home against San Antonio, but prior to that, in 13 home games, they covered 1. That's right, 1-13 ATS before that cover. And last night's cover against the Spurs and the only other game they covered in that stretch, they had a rest edge. Well, guess what? Now they have a rest deficit. And in fact, they have no rest. They're 1-4 as a dog with no rest since mid-November, including 0-3 their last 3 games. Let's finish this with 2 systems. First, teams that are a home underdog in a no rest versus a rested team after the first third of the season, so game number 27 and later, are 365 and 466. That is 44% over under. That means 56% of those games have gone over. Again, this is a valuable situation. It's not a wow number, but when you get a 56% trend with over 800 games of a sample size, that's something you want to hold on to. And the system I referenced at the beginning of the tape, since 2013, if a team is a double-digit away favorite and they lost the last meeting versus this opponent, that's it. This system, again, since 2013, 73, 34, and 5, 68.2% against the spread. Add it up. Cavs off the loss, playing with revenge, the Warriors with no rest. You know what to do. Cavaliers get this cover as a double-digit away favorite. Hit that like button. Follow me on X at CalSportsLV. I started my no-run first inning sheet daily. I post that on X. I'll be starting to post that on my homepage at WagerTalk, and I'll be starting my no-run first innings in the next couple of days. If you're watching this on Thursday, check it out. I have 2 college basketball plays tonight in the NIT and Crown. Hit the like button on your way out. Thanks for tuning in.